Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here. And welcome to Saturday's edition of the DCEU Daily. Do you remember where you were when it was announced that Ben Affleck had been cast as Batman, aka Bruce Wayne, the Dark Knight? I remember being in bed and at first thinking, oh my God, I was a bit angry. Then I thought, hang on a minute. He's an Oscar-winning director. He's a solid enough actor. Obviously, he's doing this to write and direct and perform in his own Batman movie. And I thought this could be really awesome. So I was quite excited. Then I saw the first trailer for BVS and I was even more excited. And I thought, this could work. Then I saw Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice and I was just blown away by that film. The trailer you can see behind me. This is my favourite trailer, the 3-minute trailer. I think this is the best trailer they did for it. So yesterday I woke up with different emotions. So he was on I forgot what interview show he was on, but he was on TV. And he said out of his mouth that he's no longer Batman. And the funny thing was going through my mind. I was thinking, well, this is something we pretty much knew for months now. And it's finally been confirmed. It is sad. It is sad. You know, because there were so many more plans for him to play Batman. So what happened? What went wrong? The public, the pundits, you know, the scoopers, everyone. You know, from Batman v Superman, but the reaction to Batman v Superman from mainstream media, from the mainstream audience was negative. And from that moment on, and then we had the kind of interview with him and Henry Cavill, the unhappy Affleck, and you know, silly things like that, which really didn't have any bearing to do whether he was going to continue as Batman or not. So what's happened? Well, it's quite simple. The studio and Walter Hamada had decided a long time ago that they didn't want to go with Ben Affleck anymore. I think, first of all, they wanted a younger Batman. They decided that he wasn't the direction that they wanted. I get it, because going forward, they do need to think about the future. And although Ben's not that old, I always felt that having an older Batman is kind of problematic because you don't really know his history. So if you have a younger Batman, you can go from past to the future, like they're going to do with the Batman, where we're going to see a younger Batman. Now, with him coming out and saying he's no longer the Batman, but no one's actually come out and said that Ben Affleck isn't in the Batman, isn't in the film. He could still be in the film. There could be some kind of strange transformation. I don't know. Maybe Batfleck dies in the Batman and he goes into the pit of Ra's al Ghul, right? And he's reborn as a younger Batman. It could happen. Who knows? Anything could happen. Or we could have a kind of situation from Batman Returns to Batman Forever where it's just a new actor. I think because this is a shared universe, and no matter what the president of Warner Brothers has said, there's still elements of a shared universe going forward. So they'll want the dots to connect. They'll want there to be a reason why there's a new actor behind the camera. They'll want to do that for the audience. Listen, I'm sad for Ben Affleck. He's had to suffer with a drinking problem. You know, he hasn't been in a good place. So personally, as a human being, I feel so sad for him. Personally, and I know there's diehard Zack Snyder fans, diehard Ben Affleck, Batfleck fans are saying, boycott the DCEU. Look, listen, if you want to boycott the DCEU and sit there watching Man of Steel, BVS, Suicide Squad and Wonder Woman on repeat, that's fine, that's up to you. I love those films and I'm watching them all the time. But I'm a DC fan, I'm a Superman fan, I'm a Batman fan. And I back them beyond any actor. And I'm sorry about that. I love Ben Affleck. I've always liked Ben Affleck. The way him and Matt Damon became successful through this screenplay and kind of convincing Robin Williams to be in Good Will Hunting was an amazing success story. They brought their parents to the Oscars. That will never happen again. We know what's happened to Hollywood now. It's a cesspit. You will never see things like that happen again. But the point is, he played Batman. He played Batman for me in a fantastic CBN that will never be forgotten. Of course, we saw him in Suicide Squad. I thought he was awesome in Suicide Squad too. Now, his appearance in Joss Whedon's Justice League is a little bit different. There's people who don't like the way he was portrayed. But actually, there were moments in that film, he was awesome. You know, the chats with Diana, a.k.a. Gal Gadot, right? Brilliant. All the scenes with Gal and Wonder Woman were awesome. There were some great moments where Ben was still a great Batman. And I will never forget that. But ultimately, Ben has got a new film coming out on Netflix. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about his career. But ultimately, I was never a big Ben Affleck fan. I wasn't a Ben Affleck detractor either. But I didn't sit there with posters of Ben Affleck kissing them. He's been the Batman. He's done it, what? In 3 movies. Not in 4 movies, but, you know, he's been the Batman in BVS, and he played a great role in that, and he was brilliant. Creatively, he was involved with Zack, you know, setting his version of Batman up. And it was a beautiful thing. And I thought it was great. And I'll never forget it. But it's time to move on. He's not Batman anymore. I still think he, as I said, he will play a role in the Batman. They'll have to do something. They'll need to bridge the change, and they'll definitely do something there. If he's not involved, there's a potential for another older Batman to be in this film. Another previous Batman, maybe Michael Keaton, maybe Christian Bale. Again, really exciting. I think if you're more of a DC fan than a DCEU fan, so there's a lot of different fandoms within the DCEU now. So you've got the diehard Zack Snyder fans and the diehard DCEU fans who love the previous movies. I love them. I love Zack. But they're not more important to me than the DC properties, than Superman and Batman. I'm excited for the future plans. I'm excited for the Trench movie. I'm excited for Aquaman 2. I've actually got access to Aquaman, so I'm watching it on the Never Never right now. If you're American, you won't understand what that means. Wink, wink, right? So I'm able to watch that movie, and now I can binge the whole of the DCEU again. I love the DCEU. I love what Zack did, and David S. Goyer and Christopher Nolan. But that's the first chapter. 6 movies in, and this franchise has made more than the MCU did 6 movies in. It's a great achievement. Like everything in life, we have to move on. There's changes. I'm a Doctor Who fan, and I've lived through 13 Doctors changing, or at least 12. We're on the 13th now. Excuse me. Too much talking, too many cigarettes. Don't smoke, kids. But it's fun sometimes, especially if you've got a stressful life. Anyway, going back to the DCEU. So I've been on Twitter yesterday, right? And there's a lot of upset people. A lot of upset people. And I understand it. But you can always relive BVS. He's always going to be Batman in BVS. That can't change. That won't change. Maybe one day we'll see him again as Batman in the Snyder Cut. I hope that can happen. That's the dream. But the reality about the Snyder Cut is we may have to wait 20 or 30 years. So keep healthy, kids. But ultimately, I am proud of the first part of the DCEU. I enjoyed Ben as Batman and Bruce Wayne. But we move on. What do I think of people who want to boycott? That is your right. But you're going to be missing out on some beautiful moments. And by the way, those rumours that Margot Robbie wasn't going to be in James Gunn's Suicide Squad, absolute pants. It's been confirmed by BatmanNews.com that she will appear. Because she was always going to appear. So I'm really excited about James Gunn's Suicide Squad. And people, stop saying that Superman is being rested. He is not being rested. We are going to get a Superman. Nobody knows, right? This is what makes me laugh. Because Ben Affleck said he's no longer Batman, everyone's talking about Henry Cavill. Oh, well, he's not. Just assuming and insinuating he's not Superman anymore, right? Think about it, people. A week ago, he was signing a statue of his Superman. What do you think he was trying to tell you? It's going well. Hopefully, Henry can remain Superman. But if not, we'll get a new actor. And we'll embrace him. Because our heroes, these characters, these DC characters, are more important than any director and any actor. And if you don't agree with that, maybe it is best that you don't support this franchise anymore.